Hello, welcome back to Tweet the Leader You podcast, where we chat about realistic leadership theories. On today's episode, we're going to be welcoming people from the National Black Canadian Summit who are doing amazing things in the community, who are advocating in their own unique, special way. I would like to welcome Bria Miller onto this amazing platform. But before we go into the conversation with Bria, Josh, my dude, what's going on? How are you?
It's good to be here again. Still talking to more people. It's a wonderful conversation so far. So I'm glad she came on, and I'm looking forward to the conversation.
Yeah, you know, we always like to invite creative, unique individuals who are doing amazing things in the community. And when I saw Bria's creative work that she was doing, I was very curious as to what you were writing down. But before we go into the conversation, I want to acknowledge that we are in Halifax at the Halifax Convention Center. So ignore the background. There are some people that's attending the conference and they're near our studio spot. But hey, Bria, let's get into this conversation because I'm really excited to get to know who you are, what you're doing, and all that good stuff. So who is Bria Miller, and what are you doing in this amazing community of Nova Scotia? Yeah.
Kind of a lot.
Yeah.
So I've been hired for the summit actually to create live art for the summit. So I'm doing actually digital illustration, which I call graphic recording. So capturing some of the voices from the summit and also doing a few portraits as well. And so I'm creating basically like a digital mural for each day to represent each day.
Wow.
And so CBC will then share that at some point on their social media and their platforms.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
So doing that and also speaking on a panel today as well as an artist. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what got your passion into art? Like, this is digital creative art. So what got you in that area?
I feel like healing really is like, it became like a method for healing for me. I didn't start out digital. I've only been making digital art for about the past 4 to 5 years, especially the past 3 years. Like, I got an iPad at the beginning of the pandemic and that kind of just changed my life. But yeah, I feel like mostly healing has been the reason why I started actually, and then it just grew into me getting involved in so many different facets of art. Now I'm here.
That's a really good healing. That helps us to connect in a way, and I know the pandemic has brought so much things and allow us to be so creative in different areas to protect our mental health and to protect ourselves, but also to help us to find unique ways to advocate and bring other unique skills out into the community, and that's very important. Josh, what do you think?
Yeah, for sure. And of course, the summit being one of these ways we can express that stuff. And one of the next questions we've been asking is, in terms of the summit, like, how is it important to you, or what's kind of one of the goals you're looking for in terms of your work for the summit?
I feel like really just like representing as many voices as possible, and also my work is like I like to call it also like an alternative means of archival. So especially I've been thinking about what archival means during the pandemic, and like thinking about past historical things that have happened and how we often look to like art, whether it's like written things like newspaper, like that counts as art. Zines, it could be old paintings that like capture what's happening in a time. That's I guess what I'm really trying to bring today, and what I do with the graphic recording.
That's amazing. That's really amazing. You just said that you're doing a session, so I want to hear, like, what are those 3 takeaways that you hope that people in the community will be inspired to move as you share in the session today? Like, what are the 3 takeaways?
I would say, like, definitely I would love to encourage folks to express themselves. I feel like, again, in terms of healing, it's really important, but also in terms of just like processing your experiences. It helps you like be in your body and like be real with yourself about your experience a lot more too, whether, again, if it's writing or painting or making music or just singing. It can be anything. Filmmaking.
That's awesome.
And I think also just an encouragement to like not let your fear hold you back from creating, because also I myself also am very hard on myself all artists are in their own way. But yeah, just to create beyond your fear, and that's not going to be great every time, and that's okay.
And that's okay, yeah. That's totally
it's
fine.
still like generative, and again, that processing is all practice. And I think the last thing would just be to like speak your truth. I feel like there's a quote that I always think of that's by Audre Lorde. Who's like a black lesbian writer in the 70s, who I'm obsessed with. And she has this quote that says, "Your silence will not protect you." And that has definitely like motivated my art practice, but also all my work, facilitation, all the things. It's like you can't just kind of like when I'm invited into a very, I think I just booped my mic. When I'm invited even into a very professional space, it's like I don't want to just bring fragments of myself. I want to be my whole self. So
bring your whole self.
Trying to encourage that in others, because then others can be their whole self more too.
Whole self.
I was just gonna say, I guess maybe on a more personal level, have you always been an expressive person, and maybe your art,
I would say
or
so,
something I get to work on?
I feel like the confidence piece is the hard thing. It's like being more outward about the expression has been a journey for sure, I would say. But I've definitely always been expressive. Yeah, I feel like when I was a kid, it was more like paper dolls and playing with dinosaurs and that kind of thing.
And as a kid, I always tried to use my voice in different ways. I would say, just echoing to help young people to achieve. And this is why we created Tweet to Lead the podcast, to express and to allow people to express themselves into their unique way. Telling the story is important. Telling the passion, advocating on different topics, that's important to us. And so, I feel that this is the right moment where we use our voices to echo where we want to move forward, and stuff like that. Ooh, that just gave me some goosebumps there about just saying that our voices matter.
We need it more than ever too. Like in this political climate, our voices need to be front and center.
And
our voices, indigenous voices.
And we're so fearful. We're so fearful. We don't know who to talk to. We don't know who to express to. We don't know if we do it, what's going to happen. But hey, you will know unless you do it.
Exactly.
And then that gives you the opportunity to say, okay, well, is there a bit of adjustment or revisioning? We just talked about with Robert a bit ago in a few episodes, like talking about the importance of reimagining justice. Talking about that, and that you're using your creative work through justice, through creativity, in order to spread a message that's going to be so key to the community. And that's really important. I applaud you for that. On the great work that you're doing. That's awesome.
I try to interrogate as much as I can.
And that's what we need. Definitely.
And maybe one more question just to sum up the conversation we're having with you. Just one word, I guess, if the summit, one word you could sum up the summit with, or maybe one message you're trying to send.
What would my word be?
And take your time if you need to do that.
I'm like...
It's a reflective mood,
I want to say acceleration.
Okay.
Like, because I'm feeling a lot of people's energy, and I feel like the more that people connect, especially like people from across the country, like as those relationships, maybe mobilization, because I'm just feeling a lot of energy of folks connecting, especially about their work and finding supports that they need in their work after like working a very isolated COVID time, too, on top of all the barriers we face anyway. So I'm excited also for like what comes after this summit, like beyond this, because I think this will grow to be even bigger.
More work to do. And we're going to be sharing this during the next few months, advocating. And this is the reason why we wanted to come to do a bit of interviews, is to advocate, to show the importance of what's going on, and how people in the community can continue this beyond this weekend, talking about it throughout the next 2 months. We're going to allow this to go on for the next 2 months, to allow people to know that this happened, and this is what we're
here. together. We're all across the country doing all this work.
And we have presence with the United Nations here, people from across other parts of the country, and that's really amazing that we can set an agenda, set the alarm that our voices can be heard in different ways. The time is now.
It is.
That is the motto. The time is now. What does that mean to you as we end this episode?
Again, I think for me, it is the time for us to express ourselves. It's our time to be honest and like not sugarcoat our experiences.
Right.
Like not gaslight ourselves about the stuff that we face, and to just support each other. Because we only really got each other. It's like there's some resources put in place, but they're not sustainable a lot of the time. So we have to figure out how to support ourselves like for the long haul with longevity in mind. Big time.
And that's it. That's a wrap. Thank you so much, Bria
Thank you.
Miller, for coming on today, bringing your expression, your voice to this table to allow people. When you are a leader, use the voice wisely. As you continue to build with a voice that expresses your tone, your ability to make change, your ability to advocate. Thank you so much, and we'll see you at the next episode.
Bye.